Welcome to WhiteboardDoodles, the channel where we simplify tech-related concepts using whiteboard animations. In today's video, we will be talking about common cyber attacks. In our interconnected world, technology permeates every aspect of our lives, from personal communication to critical infrastructure. However, this technological advancement comes with its own set of challenges, especially the alarming rise of cyber attacks. Today, we'll delve into the top 10 most common cyber attacks and discuss how you can safeguard yourself against them. So let's get started. Number 1. Malware. Malware, short for malicious software, is designed to infiltrate, damage, or exploit any programmable device or network. It can appear in various forms such as viruses, worms, trojans, and others, each with its own destructive capabilities. Malware can steal sensitive information, encrypt files, spy on user activity, and more. Famous examples of malware include Conficker and Zeus, a worm and a Trojan respectively, which caused significant financial losses in the mid-2000s. Safeguarding against malware requires using trusted antivirus software, ensuring all software and systems are kept up to date with the latest security patches, steering clear of downloading files or clicking links from unknown sources, and consistently backing up critical data. Number 2. Social engineering. Social engineering is a tactic used by cybercriminals to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential information or performing actions that compromise security. This approach exploits human psychology rather than technical vulnerabilities, often appearing in forms such as phishing, pretexting, baiting, and tailgating. Through these methods, attackers can steal sensitive information, gain unauthorized access, or distribute malware. Notable instances include phishing emails that impersonate trusted entities to deceive recipients into revealing passwords or credit card numbers. Protecting against social engineering attacks requires educating users about common tactics, encouraging skepticism of unsolicited communications, verifying identities before sharing sensitive information, and implementing robust security policies. Number 3. Password attacks. Password attacks are attempts by cybercriminals to gain unauthorized access to systems by cracking or stealing passwords. These attacks come in various forms including brute force attacks, dictionary attacks, and credential stuffing. In brute force attacks, attackers systematically try all possible password combinations until they find the correct one. Dictionary attacks use lists of common passwords, while credential stuffing involves using stolen username password pairs from other breaches. Notable incidents include large-scale breaches where weak or reused passwords were exploited to access sensitive information. To protect against password attacks, it is essential to use strong and unique passwords for each account, enable multi-factor authentication, regularly update passwords, and employ password management tools to store and generate complex passwords securely. Number 4. Ransomware. Ransomware is a type of malicious software designed to encrypt files on a victim's computer or network, rendering them inaccessible until a ransom is paid. This form of cyber attack has become increasingly prevalent, targeting individuals, businesses, and even government entities worldwide. Once infected, ransomware typically displays a ransom demand and instructions for payment, often in cryptocurrency in exchange for decrypting the files. Notable examples include the WannaCry and Ryuk ransomware attacks, which resulted in widespread disruption and financial losses. Protecting against ransomware involves maintaining up-to-date antivirus software, regularly backing up important data to offline or secure cloud storage, exercising caution with email attachments and links, and educating users about the dangers of clicking on suspicious links or downloading unauthorized software. Additionally, organizations should have incident response plans in place to swiftly mitigate and recover from ransomware attacks. Number 5. Insider threats. Insider threats refer to security risks posed by individuals within an organization who misuse their authorized access to compromise security or commit fraud. These threats can be intentional, such as employees stealing sensitive data for personal gain or sabotage, or unintentional, like employees inadvertently exposing confidential information. Insider threats can result in significant financial and reputational damage to organizations, as seen in cases where insiders have leaked proprietary information or disrupted operations. Preventing insider threats requires implementing strict access controls, monitoring employee activities, conducting regular security audits, and providing comprehensive cybersecurity training to employees. Organizations should also foster a culture of security awareness and encourage reporting of suspicious behavior to mitigate potential insider threats effectively. Number 6. DOS and DDoS attacks. DOS and DDoS attacks are malicious attempts to disrupt the normal functioning of a network or website by overwhelming it with a flood of traffic. DOS stands for denial of service, where a single source sends an excessive amount of traffic to a target, causing it to become unreachable to legitimate users. DDoS stands for distributed denial of service, which involves multiple sources, often compromised computers or IoT devices, which form a botnet coordinated to flood the target with traffic. These attacks can result in service disruptions, downtime, and financial losses for organizations, highlighting vulnerabilities in network infrastructure. Notable examples include the 2016 DDoS attack, which affected major websites and services worldwide. Protecting against DOS and DDoS attacks involves deploying robust network security measures, such as firewalls and intrusion detection and prevention systems, configuring servers and networks to handle traffic spikes efficiently, using content delivery networks, CDNs, to distribute traffic, and implementing DDoS mitigation services that can detect and mitigate attacks in real time. Regularly updating and patching systems also helps mitigate vulnerabilities that attackers exploit in these types of attacks. Number 7. SQL Injections. SQL injections are a type of cyber attacks that exploit vulnerabilities in a web application software to execute malicious SQL statements. These statements are typically crafted to gain unauthorized access to a database or to manipulate its data. SQL, or structured query language, is commonly used to interact with databases, allowing users to retrieve, insert, update, and delete data. SQL injection attacks can lead to the exposure of sensitive information, modification or deletion of data, and in some cases, the entire compromise of the affected system. Notable instances include the 2008 Heartland Payment Systems data breach, where attackers exploited SQL injection vulnerabilities to steal millions of credit card details. Protecting against SQL injection involves implementing secure coding practices, such as parameterized queries and input validation, to prevent malicious SQL statements from being executed. Web application firewalls can also help detect and block SQL injection attempts by filtering incoming traffic and identifying suspicious patterns or behavior. Regular security assessments and audits of web applications are essential to identify and mitigate SQL injection vulnerabilities before they can be exploited by attackers. Number 8. Cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting is a type of cyber attack where malicious scripts are injected into web pages viewed by other users. These scripts can execute in the browsers of unsuspecting users, allowing attackers to steal cookies, session tokens, or other sensitive information. They can also manipulate content on the page or redirect users to malicious websites. Cross-site scripting vulnerabilities typically arise from improper input validation and lack of output encoding in web applications. Notable instances include attackers injecting malicious JavaScript code into vulnerable websites to steal authentication credentials. Protecting against cross-site scripting involves implementing strict input validation and output encoding practices in web applications. CSP, or Content Security Policy headers, can also help mitigate cross-site scripting attacks by specifying trusted sources of content and preventing the execution of inline scripts. Regular security testing and code reviews are essential to identify and remediate cross-site scripting vulnerabilities before they can be exploited by attackers. Number 9. Man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle attack is a cyber attack where a malicious actor intercepts and possibly alters communication between two parties who believe they are directly communicating with each other. This interception can occur on various types of communications such as emails, instant messages, or data transmissions over networks. During an MITM attack, the attacker can eavesdrop on sensitive information exchanged between the parties, manipulate the communication by injecting malicious content, or impersonate one of the parties to gain unauthorized access to data. Notable instances include attackers exploiting unsecured Wi-Fi networks to intercept login credentials or financial transactions. Protecting against MITM attacks involves using encryption protocols such as HTTPS, which encrypts data in transit between users and websites, thus preventing attackers from reading or altering the communication. Virtual private networks, VPNs, can also provide secure connections over public networks, mitigating the risk of interception. Additionally, users should be cautious when connecting to public Wi-Fi networks and verify the authenticity of websites and digital certificates to avoid falling victim to man-in-the-middle attacks. Number 10. Zero-day exploit. A zero-day exploit is a cyber attack that targets a previously unknown vulnerability in software or hardware before the vendor has released a patch or fix. These vulnerabilities, known as zero-day vulnerabilities, are highly sought after by attackers because they provide an opportunity to exploit systems without detection or prevention by security measures. Zero-day exploits can be used to gain unauthorized access to systems, steal sensitive information, or launch other types of cyber attacks. Notable instances include the exploitation of zero-day vulnerabilities in popular software applications or operating systems such as Microsoft Windows or Adobe Flash. Protecting against zero-day exploits requires proactive security measures such as implementing intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems that can detect suspicious behavior or network anomalies. Regularly updating and patching software and operating systems is also crucial to minimize the risk of exploitation by zero-day vulnerabilities. Additionally, organizations should participate in threat intelligence sharing and collaborate with security researchers to stay informed about emerging threats and vulnerabilities. In conclusion, understanding the diverse landscape of cyber threats is essential in safeguarding digital assets and personal information. From prevalent attacks like malware and phishing to sophisticated techniques such as SQL injection and zero-day exploits, each threat underscores the importance of robust cybersecurity practices. By staying informed about current threats, implementing proactive security measures, and fostering a culture of vigilance and education, individuals and organizations can significantly reduce their vulnerability to cyber attacks. As technology evolves, so too must our defenses, ensuring a resilient approach to protecting sensitive data and maintaining trust in the digital age. This marks the end of our exploration of common cyber attacks. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to our channel and liking the video. Feel free to also check out our other videos on related topics. Thank you for watching.